Good morning. It is 9:38 a.m. on Tuesday, December 28th, 2021. I'm Christiana Ellis, and I just got up more or less. Kind of a lazy vacation wake up. This is 5 more minutes. So I have now made the transition to my mom's house and hanging out here. Um, we watched we watched I watched Encanto again with my mom and stepdad who hadn't seen it yet last night, and uh, we and you know what, I still like it. I feel like I maybe even like it more the second time. The one hmm, I have one thought that is a little bit spoilery about it, but maybe I'll save that towards the end of the video just in case you haven't watched it yet and you're thinking about that. But the other thing that kind of came up last night that struck me was how it's weird. First of all, there's so many streaming services these days, but it's weird that some of them are, easy to get on just whatever service or device you want, and others make it inexplicably hard for some reason. Like Paramount Plus, for example. We tried several different ways to try to watch Paramount Plus last night, which I have an account for and can watch on my computer. But even at home, I can't watch it through my TV. I can't watch it through my PlayStation. It can only go on my computer. And so I could theoretically output the uh, the video from the computer onto the TV. But like when we were trying to set it up on their computer here, it gave a weird like firewall error. And I've had the same issue with the Criterion channel where it just feels like, why wouldn't the goal be to have it available on as many devices as possible? And I guess I understand that would probably require some level of tech, like if, for example, if you want it on the PlayStation, someone has to code the app. But I don't know. I mean, it seems like it would be worth it. I don't know. I don't know really what all is involved in there necessarily, but it's just a little frustrating when some of them become super ubiquitous, like it's easy to watch Prime Video or Netflix or probably Hulu just about like anywhere you might have a mind to, but some of them are much more difficult. I don't know why. But in any case, to return to Encanto a little bit, so I'm going to talk about some things, spoilers for the end part. So it's really kind of meant for people who have seen it. You won't have the context if you haven't. So if you haven't and don't want to, that's fine. If you think you're going to want to watch it, maybe go ahead and pause this and watch it instead. And also, like, you don't need to come back. In any case, spoiler warning delivered. The end of the movie has, I mostly like it, but it has a little bit of the same issue that I had with The Mitchells versus the Machines, where you have a parental figure, or in the case of Encanto, a grandmother, who's had some really pretty bad behavior throughout the story. And then by the end, what we get is sort of a weak, like, micro apology that doesn't really get into detail, made to one person, and that's supposed to just make up for everything, when it really feels like the story wants this to be, oh, we're all better now. We were broken, but we're gonna fix it, and we get a little bit of, generic, like, oh, this is all my fault, but without getting into, here are the specific things that were done wrong and why they were wrong and how you're going to avoid redoing that in the future. Not that I think that the movie needs to spend a lot of time doing that, but I guess I don't 100% feel persuaded that the behavior is going to change. right? And like in the Mitchells versus the Machines, which I guess I should have given a spoiler warning for that too, but like the message at the end seems to be that both father and daughter need to just understand each other better and understand their differences. When I'm thinking, well, yeah, but really that the dad did a lot of stuff wrong beyond just not understanding his daughter. And the daughter really didn't have a parallel bad behavior, but then it's implied that they just now understand each other better and everything's fine. And same with Abuela in Encanto. Like, she acknowledges blame, but again, in a very generic, sort of almost martyr like way. Like, oh, fine, it's all my fault. Blame me. It is all my fault. Boo hoo hoo. And it's not that I don't believe her, it's that without the details, it's harder to believe that the behavior will change, right? I mean, I think what it comes down to is maybe just that it's a fairy tale type story, and in the fairy tales we can believe more easily that people are able to have these big epiphanies that change their whole worldview. When I think in real life that's, well, let's say, less common. In any case, I love the movie generally, and I don't hate the ending. I just sort of wish the ending spent a little more time being more clear that the abuela actually understands exactly what it was that she did wrong, scale of it, and not just having that conversation with one or two people and saying generic things like, I held on too tight, making it sound like, oh no, this all came from a good place and it was just, poor execution, when it was really her being an extreme control freak for decades. Anyway, it's a great movie. I don't want to overstate that criticism, just that I feel like could have tweaked that a little bit, maybe. But that's also, you know, it's a fairy tale, so they don't necessarily want to get into the cognitive behavior therapy of it all. I don't know. Anyway, I'll leave it there, and I'll talk to you all tomorrow for 5 more minutes.